Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to movies and everything in between. My name is Aidan, and I hope that you're doing well today. Now, at the time of recording, it is September of 2025, and the 5th of September, and recently the film The Fantastic Four First Steps released in late July of this year, and I did watch the movie and I did film and post a review of it. So suffice it to say, I'll leave the link up here for you to watch my review, but today I want to talk about the comic book story arc that inspired the movie. This is going to be my review of The Fantastic Four: The Coming of Galactus by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This was published in The Fantastic Four number 48, 49, and 50, which were published in March, April, and May of 1965. So at the time of recording, it has been 60 years since this story was first published. Now, this is not the first attempt at adapting the story to film. That was actually the second Fantastic Four film, released back in 2007, called Rise of the Silver Surfer. But let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about the story that inspired these two movies. So here's the cover and the first splash page. Now, to cut to the chase, the first few pages of the first issue do wrap up the Inhuman saga. So to really get the gist of that done, we meet the Inhumans. The King, Black Bolt, his brother Maximus is the villain, and so Maximus wants to get one last attempt at usurping the throne and killing the Fantastic Four. He fails, and as a result, the Inhumans are blocked off from the rest of the world, and they're entrapped in this dome. But then we cut to the real story, which is the Silver Surfer flying through space, and it has a really cool narration, and I'll give you a sample of it here. But life goes on, and somewhere in the deep vastness of outer space, an incredible figure hurtles through the cosmos, a being whom we shall call the Silver Surfer, for want of a better name. And yeah, I just really love how Jack Kirby depicts space and all of the powerful figures throughout this story arc. Yeah, so he flies by the Skrull home world, and they decide to use cloaking technology to hide themselves because they know what follows at the heels of the Silver Surfer. Then the Fantastic Four are flying back to New York City, and they see that the sky is on fire. And the people are hysterical, and they think that the Human Torch is the one who set the sky ablaze. So they attack him, and the Thing gets, off of the Fantastic Car, excuse me. It's clobbering time! And yeah, he saves Johnny, and this dude tries to punch Ben, breaks his hand, he's like, ah! And Ben just flicks him away. I love that. Then we see Reed in his lab because he's picked up some strange signals from space. And then rocks are covering the sky, so maybe people will start attacking the Thing, thinking that he's the cause of that. And Johnny, who had fell in love with the Inhuman Princess Crystal, is lamenting that now they're apart. And, Johnny, to be quite frank with you, you dodged a bullet, because that is an entirely, insanely different story that we might get into in another episode, but suffice it to say, Johnny, you're lucky you didn't, end up with her. And Sue's like, honey, why aren't you paying attention to me? Why aren't you coming to dinner? Why haven't you shaved your face? I don't have time, woman. I'm doing science. And we meet Latu the Watcher. This is his first appearance, and he is helping Reed develop this piece of technology that will cloak the Earth from Galactus and the Silver Surfer. And Silver Surfer's like, hey, what's going on with this planet changing from fire to rock? So he flies down, and he's like, interesting. And Johnny sees him, and they start fighting, which is really cool. And then Silver Surfer lands on the rooftop, and he's, summoning his master. And then the thing just, slugs him one. Then he falls from the rooftop. But then we get this really cool collage for Galactus's ship. I think that is fantastic.
Say that again?
Then the issue ends with us meeting Galactus, who arrives on Earth, and his costume will change a couple of times, actually. Then we get the cover for issue 49, which is recolored for the copy that I have here. This is the Epic Collection, Volume 3. So this collects Fantastic Four number 33 to 51 and Annual number 3, so 1964 to 66. And yeah, really cool trade paperback that I got here. I really like the Marvel Epic collections. I did a review for the one for Spider-Man Kraven's Last Hunt. I'll leave a link to that as well if you're interested in watching that. And if you're interested in watching more comic book reviews and movie reviews, TV show reviews, and video game gameplays and action figure reviews, please subscribe. Ring the bell to be posted when I post a new video. And you can also click the like button if you enjoyed this video, click the dislike button if you didn't, and in the description I'll leave links to my social media profile so you can stay up to date and send me a message. I'll also leave a link to my podcast, so you can please subscribe there and share that with your friends. And I'll also leave a link to my Patreon page and merch store, so if you'd like to support this show financially, I greatly appreciate that. You get a slew of benefits on Patreon, like early access to videos and episodes of the podcast. You also get exclusive videos and podcast episodes, and you can also read my original writing projects. And in the merch store you can buy a t-shirt or a coffee mug or a long sleeve shirt with a show's logo on it. But yeah, If This Be Doomsday is the subtitle for part 2. And I love this splash page where they're seeing Galactus and they're just horrified. And like I said, change number 1 to his costume. But he and the Watcher know each other because they're both, really old, although Galactus is a space god and the Watcher's just this guy from an advanced species. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm trying to help these people survive. He's like, don't do that. But, yeah, so then the Thing tries to punch Galactus in the foot, which doesn't really help the situation. Then he just uses this little poofy bomb thing that's basically bug spray because we're but gnats to him. And, Reed grabs Ben, tries to get him to safety. Johnny tries to, shoot some flames at him, but that doesn't work. And then he uses some I-beams to blast them. And so they're like, okay, let's take 5 and figure things out, because straight up attacking him isn't going to work. So Reed finally shaves, which will be pleasing to Sue, and Johnny and Ben, clean themselves up as well. And the Silver Surfer meets Alicia Masters, Ben's girlfriend, who's now his wife. And she nurses him back to health, and basically it is giving humanity's case to him. And so he learns the error of his ways because, he's like, oh, I'm a horrible, horrible person because I brought Galactus to all these planets that he ate. And some of them had people on them. So Galactus starts assembling the machine that will suck the energy out of the Earth and into him, which is how he feeds on planets. And we go into more in-depth, not really more in-depth, but another example that I talked about on the show is my recent review of Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. Leave a link to the playlist for that if you're interested. But yeah, so the Watcher is like, okay, here's a new plan. So in Galactus's ship, there's a weapon that could possibly defeat him, so we gotta go get it. And Johnny is the one who can fly, with his powers. I mean, Ben's a pilot, but Johnny can actually, fly himself. So he goes into Galactus's ship to collect the weapon. And then we get more reactions and the subplot about Alicia and the Surfer, where she's like, life is precious and beautiful, don't kill people. And he's like, oh, okay. Then we get some more cool action as they distract Galactus while Johnny goes into the ship. But Uatu's like, before you go in, I gotta, help you out. So you get that. Then we actually see him going into the ship here on the second page. Then they fight off some little gremlin-like minions, which is really cool. And then the next issue begins here, the final part. The startling saga of the Silver Surfer. So, basically, as Johnny is flying through the ship, because it's enormous, the rest of the four and the Silver Surfer, try to, fight off Galactus, and, Surfer is like, I'm betraying you because I learned a valuable lesson from this random woman that I met. And Johnny finally reaches his destination and grabs the Ultimate Nullifier, which is a weapon that is so powerful and so awesome that it can actually destroy the universe. So Reed's plan is like, okay, I'm not actually going to use this weapon, but Galactus doesn't know that I won't, so I'm just going to bluff him. And so he stretches his arm out. He's like, see, look at this. I have the Ultimate Nullifier. He's like, oh shit. Don't press that button, man. I'll do whatever you want. Please, just don't kill me. And so Reed is like, alright, so here's the dealio. You leave this planet alone, and I will not destroy you with this weapon. And Galactus is like, okay, here's some addendums to our contract, and here you can play Kate Bush's song Deal with God. But he's like, okay, so give me the ultimate nullifier back. I'll leave your planet alone. And Surfer, you are fired, and you're banished to this planet and its moon. So if you try to fly further past the Earth's moon, you get effed up. So screw you for betraying me. And the Watcher was like, yeah, that's a good deal. And so Galactus dips, and the four are like, okay, let's tend to Johnny because he is exhausted from flying through that giant-ass ship all the way in and all the way back. Then Ben thinks that his girlfriend Alicia has fallen in love with the Silver Surfer because of, the soap opera nonsense that Stan Lee liked to write. Jack Kirby's like, okay, let me draw this cool shit. And Stan's like, don't forget that melodrama. Because before he wrote superhero comic books in the 40s and 50s, when Marvel was, Timely Comics in the 30s and 40s, and then in the 50s they were Atlas Comics, and then in the 60s they're like, okay, let's settle on Marvel Comics. But in the Timely and Atlas days, Stan was like, okay, let me just, he was writing romance comics, because there were romance comics that were popular, cowboy comics, war stories, science fiction, horror. He wrote, he dabbled in a lot of those different stuff, because he did write some Captain America comics in the 40s and 50s, but Jack Kirby and Joe Simon created Captain America, but he mainly did romance and horror. So we get the melodrama of Ben and Alicia's misunderstanding, and Ben's like, well, I'm gonna go. Then we get Johnny starting his first day of college, and then we get the setup for the next issue, which is another iconic story called This Man, This Monster. But Reed's like, okay, so we just fought a space god. I gotta, figure shit out. And so Reed starts working on trying to find deterrents to other alien invasions and stuff like that. And yeah, that's the wrap up. Then we cut over to the Inhumans, who are like, oh, now that we're all cut off from the rest of the world, what are we gonna do? And Crystal's like, oh, Johnny, well, Crystal, you're gonna get married to Quicksilver, and you're gonna be an Avenger, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that is the coming of Galactus. And overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say that this is a 10 out of 10, because we get the beautiful artwork of Jack Kirby, the fun, snappy dialogue of Stan Lee. It's a very well-written story. It's, iconic, which is why it's been adapted into film and television so many times. And yeah, honestly, I really enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not really the biggest, proponent of melodrama in stories like this, but, I do enjoy it. It's just that it can get annoying at times. But that's really all I have to say on that matter. And like I said, if you enjoyed this, then please subscribe and all that. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the National Timely Action Hour. Once again, my name is Aiden, and I sincerely hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.